restaurant, you could care less what people think of you.
If you ate at Delaney's on this week, it was called Christie's on 39.
No, it's Cindy's on 39. That's why I put, change the name. Now, maybe she doesn't know that she can change the name.
It's only been,
It's been since July 1st. You know, I know, she just bought it in July. But what I would do is actually go in there and I just, because the restaurants are not responding to these, maybe they don't know that they can go in and actually change the name. And she can put Cindy's formerly Delaney's so that it combines them. And so anyway, but when you go there, there will always be people that write, don't do it, was disappointed, this place is terrible, avoid it at all costs, poor service, and you never respond. If I was Cindy, I would say, you know what, I just took over ownership, the previous owners retired, and we're working really hard at making sure everybody has a great experience. But if you don't respond, even the photograph there, that's not a very good photo. I mean, if they want, I'll give them our photos better than the one they have there. But you can add, all this stuff is free. And yet they're not doing it. So it's just a message to send out to your restaurants that they need to do that. And by the way, there it is, Cindy's restaurant, and the breakfast skillets are amazing. See what I mean? This is how you promote your town. Rather than just say, oh, we're going to put it, it's one of our main restaurants. So one of the next things I want you to do is a wayfinding system. And number one is I don't understand how on these signs you end up with private businesses this far away. Because what I don't want you to do is now say, well, we got to put one for MJ's, we got to put one for, was it Cordelinos, we got to, I don't want you to, you have too many signs, and I don't know how you got private business signs on public right away. But I think these could be combined or reduced down, just so you don't get a lot of sign clutter. I love the fact, you know, you have the library now. We did find the library. Love that. I thought, whoever did that, yeah, way to go. Shortcut to state parks this way, shopping. I thought it was fabulous. I'd like to just see one nice decorative sign. So I do want you, one of the big initiatives is to a wayfinding system. For Oros Bay, it wouldn't be that expensive. Because I think if you had 10 signs in Oros Bay, we'd find everything. You know what I mean? And so I don't think you need to spend a ton of money on this, but I think it would start to put this together. And in our library, the Destination Development Association, there is a video on how to do this. So I don't want to go into all the details about it. But that would be like a main signage, visitor information, restrooms, public parking, all these kinds of things would be on wayfinding. Attractions, activities, your boat launch, public access points, trail markers, visitor information kiosk, and let me show you some of that pedestrian wayfinding once we're downtown so that we can find the pizza place. Things like that. So this is all includes these things, okay? And by the way, they can be decorative. You know, this is Modesto, California. Notice 1, 2, 3, 4, they have 4 items on their sign, but no more than 5 items. Woodlands, Texas. It looks like a place called Woodlands. Heck, Appleton, Wisconsin. You know, this sign was $700 and it's on an existing power pole and it's got an aqueous coat so ice and graffiti won't stick on it. Stainless steel hardware. But you know what? They put up 18 of these in Appleton, Wisconsin, the retail. No, they put up 20 of them and the retail sales went up by almost 15% just by adding signage. So there it is. Studies show that wayfinding will increase sales between 14 and 28%. And that'd be great. And by the way, navigation systems are not a substitute for wayfinding. We use navigation systems on our phones, in our cars, to find things we already know exist. What you put on signs tells us about things we didn't know you had. See what I mean? So really important. And because other towns like Utica, they do wayfinding. See, this is me pitting you against each other. But you know, they're a little bit on the small side up in Utica, but at least they help you spend more time and money there. So, you know, and so you need wayfinding like Memorial Park. We would have never found it had we not been driving around aimlessly. Riverfront Park, I don't know what you call it, we found a boat ramp. We found it by accident. your sports fields, the municipal pool, Lehigh Park, almost all of this stuff. Downtown, where you have your signs now, is pretty easy to find. But we don't know where, these are things you need to add. And by the way, these are really, really hard to read. And plus it doesn't even fit wayfinding. You know, and by the way, I thought that was great. So this is if you're heading this way into downtown, Dickinson House is down that way. But if you're heading west on Walnut, it tells you that Dickinson is down out of town. See, this is the street that takes you down, and this is Walnut. Why is it saying Dickinson as you go up this way and go that way? Dickinson is that way. So I don't know how that got turned around. Does somebody, you don't know either? I don't know why it's sending us down Walnut. So anyway, these are things that you could easily fix. We did see Dickinson House. I have no clue what this is. I think we saw on the website it's a venue that you can rent. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Community building.
It's a community building, but somebody says it has a pool in it, or it used to have a pool in it.
Bowling alley.
Oh, it had a bowling alley in it? Okay, okay. But it'd be nice if there was a little sign there that maybe said a brochure, so if somebody's down there at the ball fields, they can pick up a brochure and say, oh, maybe this is a good place for a wedding, or maybe they have an awards banquet after, is it set up for things like that, awards banquets and stuff?
Yeah, it's set up for small parties, showers, things like that.
Okay.
We do have, the brochures are inside. So you
Yeah,
have to
but-
be able to get in.
Yeah, what you need to do, and you know what I'm talking about, those little brochures, you can buy them at Staples, like a little real estate brochure, because a lot of times it's locked, since it's a rental facility. So it doesn't help us. So that's what you can do, is put one outside. It's a cool building. By the way, we saw all the big tournament, Gandolfi Field. We spent 2 days trying to find Gandolfi Field. Did I pronounce that right? Because we found Dickinson Field. So we found Dickinson Field, so we know that there's Dickinson Field right there, right? And then we found this one over here, Bottomley, what is that right? Yeah, Bottomley Diamond. How do these tournaments find Gandolfi Field? There's no signs. So we went, well, I don't know where it is. Maybe it's some other place. So we started looking for Gandolfi Field, driving all over town. We did find Memorial Park. I think this would be a good project for somebody. Go paint it, freshen it up. Maybe an Eagle Scout project, or maybe a volunteer would like to do that. It's a gorgeous park, just stunning. I think it does a really great job. I think what you do for your veterans, that's coming up, is phenomenal. And you had for Korean War and everything. As a matter of fact, we don't put these on best of lists, but it's worth the trip out of your way. We did find the community pool, looked fabulous. We thought that was awesome. But a lot of times, a lot of the stuff we would have never found had we not been doing an assessment, because there's no wayfinding. This is great. I think this is Lehigh Park, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what was, they had registration there. They're at like a kids camp or something. It just looked fabulous. We found Lincoln School, but these are all things we found just because we're driving around. And we're driving around and we saw this newly paved road. We thought, wow, this must be a new subdivision. Let's go check it out. And then we went, oh my gosh, the river is here in Lehigh. Here in Oglesby. And there it is. And we just went, what? How would anybody know that? And I know it's probably brand new, right? So when you do wayfinding, you add this to it. So it looks like it's brand new, and I just thought that's awesome. But what's really cool is after 3 days, we finally found the Visitor Information Center. There it is! Woo-hoo! So, but anyway, I thought it was good with the map. What's that?
It's a start.
At least it's a start.
It's a start! And that is where we found the brochure. So, these are all, almost all the stuff is low-hanging fruit. This is not like rocket science stuff. And by the way, this is fabulous. So I got a question. Can people go inner tubing down the Vermilion River? I know some parts of it are really shallow. Does anybody anywhere rent inner tubes, or can we even buy them?
It's sign you had earlier.
Vermilion River
Rafting.
But-
way earlier.
Oh, wait a
Oh,
Yeah.
but see,
Okay, they rent rafts.
but in his case, you know, Brett, Vermilion River Rafting, it just says Vermilion, the sign is almost falling down, it looks like he's been out of business for 10 years, and you go up to his house, see what I mean? There's no information that says, by the way, if you call Brett, he will have inner tubes you can buy or rent or rafts or anything, no information. This is why if you had that visitor information center, you'd have people here packed, you'd have people lined up in your downtown. But, so that just kind of illustrates why that's really important, because this is fabulous. We can see a family down there, and by the way, how's the fishing, is it good?
Yeah.
What do you catch, pike?
gar.
Gar? Awesome. And so I don't know, you know, what the seasons are, or anything, but once again, when you promote things, because here's what you do. First of all, I think the town, city has a nice website. I think it's great that you have new resident information, tours and things to do, local. I think this is fantastic. Nicely done. It's a nice website for city. Really is. Discover Oglesby, they both is, see, I love it. Home of both Starved Rock State Park and Madison. You know what? I can take Buffalo Rock too. You know what? Might as well. And so, don't give it to Ottawa. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, I think you can do that. It's 3 state parks. You'll provide information. But when you click on tourism things to do, one thing, don't say tourism is the interrelated system that includes tourists and associated. I'm going, no. Don't tell us what the definition of the word tourist is. Tell us, by the way, we're home of some amazing activities, some of the best in the entire state of Illinois. You need to tell us, and so, you know, preserving the small and intimate nature of the town was identified as required by the Oglesby Planning Commission. I'm going, no. You need to sell us and not get into all the municipal speak. Okay? And so, you know, promote activities. So we say Oglesby is located just a few miles southwest of Starved Rock State Park. It encompasses 2,621 acres, 13 miles of trails, 18 canyons, numerous waterfalls. No. Madison Park is 1,686 acres. Buffalo is 10 miles northwest, 293 acres. The Illinois-Michigan Canal is around 61 point. You're telling us about the facilities and nothing to do. So now, I do not want you guys to go over and go back to you, the tourism coordinator, you're doing lousy. She's doing a great job. I'm just telling you that what you have to do, it's hard to take off the municipal cap of facilities and change it to activities. So, Starved Rock State Park is the most visited state park in Illinois. It is an amazing destination, and it's open year-round, right?
Yeah.
And it's open year-round. Tell people that right up front. And in the park, there are 13 miles of trails and 18 canyons. Our 3 favorite are here. There's 1, 2, and 3. See what I mean? So just do that like your brochure. But then you know what you can also do? And if you like those 3, come back here and we'll give you 3 more. That's what you need to do. So what I want to do is change this from promoting facilities to activities. You know, when we look back at that Illinois River, I kept going, wow, would this be a good, the Vermilion River, would this be good for stand-up paddleboarding? That's a huge sport now. You know what, that would be a business hub for somebody downtown to rent paddleboards. There's so many business opportunities you can do out of this. So I just want you to, you know, I even thought you should probably do a standalone tourism website so that you're not confined into the municipal package. You can go on to Wix. As a matter of fact, we have 2 videos in the library that will show you how you can create a standalone website that is very visual, will automatically size for mobile and all kinds of tricks. Just because it needs to be more photography based. You know, and so we checked out all that stuff, and then we did have lunch at the root beer stand, and it was great. It's fun. I just think it's fun. And so we had that. We did add it. I thought it was really good. I got a hint. So if somebody would talk to the people at the root beer stand, And we read this in a lot of reviews, that the root beer tastes a little flat and it doesn't have much root beer punch to it. And we kind of agreed with the reviews, but it doesn't look like I ever read the reviews. See, if you did, maybe say, well, maybe we should add more carbonation, maybe we should, do whatever. But that's why it's so important to look at reviews, because I'm telling you, visitors go right to TripAdvisor and Yelp, and they're talking about it. So anyway, it's still great. It's just a great thing. We found a family of Holy Family. You know what? We were at Memorial Park driving around and everything, and then we found that the Holy Family School, and then we realized it's like almost right next door. I had no idea. And we found some nice. It's like, she was just looking at us. She didn't want to sit in there, you know what? We fell in love. I think it's a really nice neighborhood. You have great people everywhere we went. We found some fascinating art. We're still trying to figure out what that's about. We don't know whether it's Monty Python or religious or,
That's an old piece?
What's that? Is it? I know there's a story there somewhere. We found another pretty water tower. You know what? I got to tell you a funny story. We were in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and they had a water tower like that. We painted it all up, and our designer got an award for the Take of the Year award. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But anyway, it looked good. We saw your gateway seat. They're nice. They're in good locations. The signs are well maintained. So as we're doing this, we did get the LaSalle County. And by the way, the one thing you could pass on to them is don't promote county. Have you ever gone anywhere that was a county outside of maybe Brown County, Indiana, and Door County, Wisconsin? People don't go to counties. The only reason those two work is because they've been doing it for so long it's stuck. But in there, we couldn't wait to see the major attraction. McFedrin Park. This park features a fishing pond with a beautiful pier right off the track. The track is 1/3 of a mile long with 6 workout stations. There's a playground with baby swings, raider swings, a pirate ship. I can't wait to see the Black Pearl. And bongo drums. McFedrin Park is unique because it is the only park in town that is pet friendly. Dogs are actually allowed. So we drove around. We tried to Google it, everything. We finally find this really nice neighborhood with beautiful homes. Is that your house? Wow, when can we move in? We took this picture thinking, all right, Airbnb. Yeah, nice, really nice neighborhood. And then we found it. We went, whoa. Now, so we went down to it, we thought it was fantastic. Once again, here, you know what, this is probably all fine. At least it's not in red with drowning aliens. But I thought, this is where you park, so the signs here make sense. It's where you park, you get our car, we can get through this. So no, this is not a complaint. But I would put welcome to the park. But one thing with the park is beautiful, the lake is starting to get some weed growth in it. I love these two boys. I think it was so fun to watch them. They were sitting there swimming. And then they said, look, there's a big fish over there. So they got on their bikes, they drove around there and said, there he is, go get him. It was so fun to watch. Are they your kids, baby? No, okay.
You wouldn't believe the kids that come by on bicycles with fishing poles.
Yeah, I think this is quality of life stuff. Even doing these exercise stations, I thought was fantastic. Now, I must say that the pirate ship was a little because I was expecting that. Just kidding. It was really fabulous. Now, one thing is I did not put this on your best of list, even though it is because there's 4 parking spaces, and it seems to really be for that neighborhood. I'm sure it's public, but I'm not so sure that you want everybody. Even when I was down there taking pictures, the lady in the house, there she is. She's sitting there going, she's on the phone talking to somebody, she's watching what I'm doing, I'm photographing, and I thought this is more of a neighborhood park. So I think it's fantastic. But LaSalle, they pointed as like your main park in the county visitor guide. And I'm not so sure that the neighbors there really want crowds of people there. So I didn't include it even though it's fabulous. finally we went back and we're walking around the Dickinson house and everything, and we're going, there's the baseball tournament, I love the batting cage and everything. And then lo and behold, there it is! After 3 days, we found Gandolfi Field Diamond. So I don't know what the other sign is. That's something like, what's it, Dickinson Field or what?
Dickinson Field is the name of the park.
Oh, but why say Dickinson Field instead of say Dickinson Park, and in the park are,
Yeah, well, they just,
Complex.
they had names of the fields.
okay, if it said Dickinson Complex, then we would have figured, oh, that must be, and it must be one of these. So anyway, I mean, what, your tournament's found it, that's good.
It's all about how the signage came of date.
Yeah,
The
gotcha.
complex sign was there before they named the diamonds,
Okay.
and they just haven't been updated.
Yeah, but even if you did, on that one, it says Dickinson, it says Dickinson
Field,
Field.
baseball.
If it said complex, but if, even if you just put Gandolfi Field, you know, just put the 3 names, just a little hanger on there. I didn't see anybody complaining anywhere about not finding them, it was pretty easy, so. They're great fields, by the way, really nice, really nice. And so then we wanted to go eat at Oriole Kitchen, but it was closed. And so we went across the street and ate at MJ's. And there we met Greg. So we're shopping the town. He turns around and goes, "Are you Roger Brooks?" I was wearing a baseball cap and everything, you know. And he goes, "Yeah, I've seen all 4 of the videos." And so we had a good discussion, all of us in the restaurant, you know.
He was holding an $8,000 camera.
You can't miss the camera, it's a monster. So anyway, it was good. The fried chicken's phenomenal. I guess everybody knows that. And it's all made to order, which is really cool too. It's not like they cook it all up in the morning. And so anyway, that's great. When we were done, and by the way, I did add them to that one. When we were done, we walked across the street, and by the way, nobody could see this. There's cars in it. So, but we did see this. And we thought, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. This is pretty fun. So, excuse me, the community band was there. And we just thought, that's so awesome that you're doing that. And that brings us to downtown Owensboro. So here we go. First of all, we love the streamers, the flags, and everything that you do. I don't know if you put those up on Memorial. Somebody said, I think Roger, they left those up for you, and I don't, I hope not. You know, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, I don't know how long you keep those up. I hope you do it. Because no matter which way you come in downtown, it creates a great presentation of seeing the American flags and those streamers. Do you keep them up all summer?
Memorial Day until about 9/11 usually.
Perfect, perfect. I'm glad you're doing that. I think that's phenomenal you're doing that. It really creates a great first impression. And I just love it. As a matter of fact, when we saw these on homes and stuff, I mean, it almost brings tears to your eyes. Because every one of these is dedicated to a soldier. And I just thought that, I mean, on homes, downtown, I just thought that what you did with your Patriot Memorial Park was pretty phenomenal. So congrats. I mean, it's really awesome. You know what, the one thing we really like about Oglesby is the intimate setting. The best downtowns in America have 2 lanes, just 1 lane each way. And when you go into places like